on the line.
Prompter. This is the transition news on Atlantic Television Network. The River State Police Command said it has launched a full-scale investigation to arrest the miscreants behind the abduction of a police orderly attached to a monarch, as well as his driver. A policeman and the driver were kidnapped along the Eagle Island area of Port Harcourt on Saturday evening. The two victims are aides of the paramount ruler of Rumelechi community in Mpolu-Oraworuko community, Port Harcourt local government area of the state. In His Royal Majesty Cornwell Ihunwo, the police said the command had already deployed their tactical team to ensure the release of the duo and apprehend the suspects. A source who pleaded anonymity because he was not authorized to speak to the media told ATN that the monarch was the target of the abductors, but that he was lucky not to have been in the vehicle. Confirming the incident, a member of the local vigilante group in the Diobu area of Port Harcourt and the chief security officer of Mpolu-Oraworuko community, StarTimes Ihunwo, said he received a distress call at about 9 p.m. on Saturday about the development. When contacted, the spokesperson for the State Police Command, Grace Iringe Koko, confirmed the abduction, saying that the Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, had ordered a full-scale investigation to ascertain the situation. Management of Bopan HCDT will, on the 28th of June 2024, unveil her operation office in Port Harcourt. Highlights of the event include cutting of tape to unveil the office, cutting of cake, and inspection of the entire office complex. Speaking at the event, the General Manager, Total Energy, God's Power, Machku, advised the management of Bopam HCDT to show working and capacity in their delivery.
What we expect from Bopam HCDT is to follow the structure that has been laid down to ensure that the communities here being represented by BOT, the MACOM, the advisory committees, reap the benefits of the PIA. We want to ensure that the development gets to the grassroots, which is the goal for this PIA. The expectations are high. A high bar has been set. People are expecting that now the dividends of PIA will get to them. People are expecting that the projects which is captured in the community approved community development plan will be properly executed. People are expecting that will touch their lives in terms of provision of jobs, in terms of training their youths, in terms of awarding scholarships, skills, and in fact overall development of all the communities that are involved and are captured in Bopam HCDT. So the challenges are high.
Speaking earlier on behalf of the host communities, the Chairman, Board of Trustees, Alabo Emmanuel Geoffrey Jaja commended the Total Energy for their support for host communities and asked them to continue with their good jobs.
We have done well. Initially, I said that we cannot be, when we started this show, We said that we cannot be doing this thing alone without your continuous assistance. That you should not leave us, because I know that you were happy that all this problem created by various communities, your hands are off. Your hands cannot be off. you will continue to guide us.
Team lead HCDT, Mr. Okachuku, congratulated Bopan HCDT for establishing the office and stated that all documents regarding their operations with Total Energy has been approved.
Respected chiefs, regional rulers, and the Bopan officials from the BOT to the outcome. Mine is just to say congratulations for coming this far. I also brought you good news. And the good news I brought to you is that just on Friday, I was able to officially upload all your documents into the Host Community Development Trust portal. What it takes to go into the portal, if you click, you see all your names and directors, also the BOT members, and all the documents we use in registering your trusts, including what you have transferred to you as fund, is there now online. So your representative, your Senate members, whoever want to look at it.
A traditional ruler, His Royal Highness Bartholomew Ikan, also spoke to ATN News.
And so we are very, very happy. We want to appreciate you, the BOT members, and especially the Total. You have really helped us. We say, God, who have done all this for us, free of charge. Let's continue to bless each and every one of us in Jesus.
On his part, lead chairman, Bopan HCDT, Comrade Peter Timothy Ibifa, called for cooperation from host communities and promised prompt delivery of projects and other activities for the benefits of the communities.
It's very simple. The message to the communities is we have gone past the time of long waiting. We have now reached the time of harvesting these expectations. So at this time, everyone needs to put their hands on deck. Trust the people that you have on the board. Trust the BOT members, trust the MANCOM members, trust the ADCOM members, and believe that this work is a teamwork, because we are not going to be working without the community. Especially for us, the BOT is going to be side visit, side visit, side visit, and side visit. So our prayer is that we commission and commission and commission and leave footprints that cannot be forgotten. So we are already committed to leaving legacies.
Federal Capital Territory High Court in Apo has struck out the certificate forgery case against the senator representing Bayelsa Central Senatorial District, Benson Kombowe. Kombowe was arraigned before the court on March the 26th on 3 counts charges. The Inspector General of Police accused Kombowe of fraudulently forging a document titled Certificate of Exemption dated July the 4th, 2008, amongst others. The senator pleaded not guilty to the charges, and at the resumed proceedings on Monday, the proceeding counsel, Reuben Egwaba, applied to withdraw the case. He noted that his action followed the withdrawal of the fiat issued to him by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, to prosecute the matter. The lead counsel for the defendant, Chris Uche, did not oppose the application moved by Egwaba. Uche, in addition, urged the court to dismiss the matter, and in his ruling, the trial judge, Justice Christopher Oba, turned down the request of the defense counsel to dismiss the matter. He, however, struck it out. He also discharged the defendant. Ogun State government has confirmed 25 cases of cholera in 7 local government areas of the state, with 1 casualty from Ijebu North local government in the Ogun East senatorial district of the state. The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka, gave the figure in Abeokuta, the state capital, during a press briefing held at the Olusegun Oshoba Press Center in the state capital. She said free surveillance and emergency treatment have been activated in all 20 local government areas of the state. She identified Abeokuta South, Abeokuta North, Obafemi Owodo, Ijebu North, Ado, Odo-Ota local government areas as the most hit by the disease, while assuring the general public of the preparedness of the state government and its development partners. She, however, asked residents to maintain a high level of personal and public hygiene to contain the spread of the disease. To support the state response, she said that the state epidemiology unit is on high alert, adding that all LGA disease surveillance and notification officers have also intensified surveillance across all 20 local government areas. Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun has been elected chairman of the Southern Governors Forum. Anambra State Governor Chukwuma Soludo emerged as vice chairman. This followed a meeting of the Southern Governors Forum in Abeokuta, Ogun State on Monday. The meeting, which lasted about 5 hours, had in attendance 13 governors and 3 deputy governors from the southern states. The governors are Dapo Abiodun, Ogun State, Godwin Obaseki of Edo State, Sheyi Makinde of Oyo State, Alex Oti of Abia, Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, Ademola Adeleke of Osun, Francis Winfro of Ebonyi State, Peter Mba, Enugu State, Dwoye Diri of Bayelsa State, and Omo Eno of Akwa Ibom State, amongst others. Former Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Adeyemi Ikuforoji, has been acquitted of all money laundering charges filed against him over 12 years ago by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. ATN recalls that the EFCC charged Ikuforoji alongside his former personal assistant, Oyebode Atoyebi, with 54 counts of money laundering involving 338.8 million naira. They were granted bail after pleading not guilty during their first arraignment in 2012. The trial had lasted over 12 years and passed through 2 trial judges before the judgment date was fixed. In May, the trial judge Muhammad Liman of the Lagos Division of the court adjourned for judgment after listening to the final arguments of the prosecution and the defense during a virtual court hearing. The defense counsel, Dele Adesina, called 3 witnesses, including Ikuforoji, who testified that he was being prosecuted based on a faceless petition. The court acquitted Ikuforoji of all 54 counts on Monday. Kano State Judicial Service Commission has taken disciplinary actions against 3 magistrate judges by recalling them from judicial duties for alleged misconduct. The commission, in a statement by the spokesman of Kano State Judiciary, Baba Jibo Ibrahim, said, Chief Magistrate Talatu Makama of the Magistrate Court Number 29 is recalled from the bench and relieved of all judicial duties effective immediately, while Senior Magistrate Rabi Abdul Kadir with Magistrate Court Number 48 and Chief Magistrate Tijani Saleh Menjibir with Magistrate Court 60 were recalled from their judicial posts and duties for 1 year respectively. The Commission also issued a strong warning to Senior Registrar Abdul Nasir with the Appeals Department of the High Court and deferred his promotion for 1 year. Kano State government said that it had earmarked 99.9 million naira for the renovation of Nasarawa Mini Palace, where the deposed Emir Aminu Ado Bayero is currently staying. The state's Commissioner for Information, Halilu Halilu Dantiye disclosed this while briefing newsmen on the outcome of the State Executive Council meeting. Reacting to this, a socio-political analyst frowned at the huge amount of funds channeled into the renovation of palace by the Kano state government, which he described as a misplaced priority. Speaking on Atlantic Television's Open Conversation, a socio-political analyst, Victor Enyeche, emphasized on the need to ensure that the religion does not replace the essential needs of the people as it may. In view of religious stability, Victor Enyeche advised against politics in the cloaks of religion. Police have deployed additional armed security personnel to the two palaces housing the contending emirs in the metropolitan local government areas of Kano. The outgoing Commissioner of Police, AIG Hussaini Gumel, confirmed this in a telephone interview with ATN and said that equipped and armed personnel have been deployed to handle any unforeseen circumstances around the identified areas. He explained that the deployment aims to prevent security threats and maintain a peaceful atmosphere pending the emirship outcome. AIG Gumel said that the command has reinforced its personnel deployment plans to ensure adequate security and peaceful coexistence in the state. The police, however, appealed for public support and urged residents to provide information that could aid in maintaining peace, progress, and political stability. The command is committed to providing the required security that will enable all residents to pursue their legitimate activities without threats to life and property. The family of the assistant head of the Air Force Comprehensive School, Kaduna, Felix Blaise, allegedly murdered by his seniors on Sunday, is calling for justice. A family member simply identified as Paul, an uncle to the slain student, while speaking to newsmen in Kaduna on Sunday, insisted that the relevant law enforcement agencies should conduct a thorough probe of the incidents. ATN gathered that Felix was allegedly murdered by two senior secondary students of the school in the dormitory within the Air Force Base in Mando, Kaduna. A parent in the school who spoke to our ATN correspondents on the condition of anonymity disclosed that the two senior students had just finished their West African senior secondary school examination, allegedly beat the SS2 student to death for punishing a junior student who happened to be a schoolboy of one of them. The body of the deceased was said to have been deposited in the mortuary pending the conclusion of an investigation to unravel the cause of his death. The uncle who said that the late student was an orphan whose parents died in 2013 maintained that the best the management of the school and indeed the Nigerian Air Force could do was to honor Felix. To honor Felix was to unravel the circumstances that led to his death. Flood waters have submerged the popular Trade Mall estate in the Lugbe area of Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, following downpour. The flood took over the estate gate on Airport Road in Abuja after a heavy downpour on Sunday evening. This lasted for some hours, rendering thousands of people homeless and properties destroyed. In a video circulated by an unidentified woman whose voice was heard, the estate was seen almost completely submerged by the flood, while some properties were seen outside homes inside the rain, and ATN record that the flooding in the estate has been a perennial occurrence every rainy season, which makes the FCTA administration promised to tackle it, but nothing has been done. The FCDA has announced last year that it would demolish structures on waterways in the estate and other estates across the FCT, but residents of the affected areas vehemently opposed it. In a statement signed by the FCDA Executive Director, Shehu Ahmed, he said that the structures in the community, such as Trademore Estates, disrupting the natural water flow, were responsible for flooding as recorded in some parts of the city. Despite the administration marking many buildings in the estate, operatives of the Nigerian police suspects in connection with the death of the national chairman and members of the Nigerian Armed Forces, Brigadier General Harold Udokwere. ATN reports that the three-man armed robbery gang attacked and killed Udokwere in his house in the Kubusa area of Federal Capital Territory. After the incident, the FCT Commissioner of Police, Binet Igwe, ordered the probe into the general's death. In a recent development, ATN gathered from a police document that the suspects were arrested at different locations within the Apo area of FCT operatives from the Otako division. The document identified the suspects as Ibrahim Rabiu, Nafimil, Aliyu Abdullahi, and Muhammad. Document further indicated that the knife allegedly used in stabbing the victim was recovered from them, and efforts to get the reaction of the police public relations officer, Josephine, were unsuccessful as she was there to respond to messages and calls made to her. Line. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Kwara State commanders arrested 363 suspects between January and June 2024. ATN investigation showed that the agency during the period under review also recovered 495 kilograms of narcotics and psychotropic substances and 61,500 liters of scooches and other dangerous substances. The state commander of NDLEA, Muhammad Ibrahim, confirmed that the agency also recorded 75 convictions, while 35 cases are still before the Federal High Court in Ilorin. Ibrahim disclosed that the 10 clients were admitted, while 8 were discharged, and the total number of clients of counseling and rehabilitation stands at 8 with outpatients. He added that the command is collaborating with the state government program for school teachers across the state, higher institutions to ensure that a sustainable drug use policy is achieved and domesticated in secondary schools across the 17 local government areas of the state. He said that the major challenge facing agency in the state remains a lack of operational vehicles to cover the state through its 8 area commands, 16 outposts and 2 border posts. Kogi State government said it has taken steps to mitigate sexual exploitation, abuse, harassment, and based violence across the state. Speaking at a stakeholders engagement workshop on sexual exploitation and abuse and gender-based violence organized by the Nigerian and Response Project for the members of the Kogi State Technical PV, the Director of Planning, Research and Statistics, Kogi State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, Ina Hussein Isaac, said pervasive issues that affect individuals across all communities, including Kogi State. He also said sexual exploitation, abuse, and harassment in all of have tremendous physical, emotional, and social consequences for its victims who are willing have tremendous physical, emotional, and social consequences for are often referred to as survivors. He has survived violence, equality, compassionate care, and support that addresses the harmful consequences of violence in order to help them heal and recover. Former governorship candidate in Zamfara State and All Progressive Grand Alliance ex-National Secretary Dr. Sani Abdullahi Shinkafi have criticized the governor of the state, Dauda Lawal, over the recent contract award for constructing a cargo airport. He questioned the rationale behind embarking on such a resource-intensive project when the state grapples with banditry and requires security and social amenities. Shinkafi accused the governor of misleading the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, to repeat the flag-off of the construction of the Gusau International Cargo Airport, a project initiated by former Governor Bello Matawale 4 years ago. He further claimed that the governor's re-awarding of the contract for 62.3 billion naira was excessively high, making it one of the most expensive airports in the country. Shinkafi expressed these views in a statement. In a statement he signed on behalf of the Patriots for Advancement of Peace and Social Development, a group in which he is the executive director. Shinkafi, who previously served as an aide to ex-governor Matawale, questioned the rationale behind embarking on such a resource-intensive project when the state is grappling with banditry and requires security and social amenities. He stressed the importance of setting the records straight regarding the Gusau International Cargo Airport in Zamfara State, which Governor Dauda Lawal recently invited the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, to reflag off at the cost of 62.8 billion naira. Security forces in Katsina State have reportedly apprehended a woman identified as Aisha Abubakar for allegedly transporting ammunition to terrorists. The incident was reported by security analyst and counterinsurgency expert Zagazola Makama. According to Makama, the ammunition was discovered during a routine search of Abubakar's luggage. The suspect initially denied any involvement in the illegal activity. However, Makama reported that she later admitted to her role in the operations. Further interrogation revealed more details, including more details about the intended destination of the ammunition. Makama further expressed and emphasized the significance of this arrest in the broader context of the counter-terrorism efforts. You are watching the Transition News on Atlantic Television Network. We'll return after this break very shortly. Please stay tuned.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back to Transition News on Atlantic Television Network. And now to the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu says the nation's security forces are winning the war against insurgency in the Northwest. The president made this statement at the Northwest Peace and Security Summit organized by the Northwest Governors Forum in Katsina, the capital of Katsina State. Tinubu, who was represented by his vice, Kashim Shettima, assured Nigerians that the progress made so far is just the beginning, as the government is making more effort to provide a better secure environment for all citizens. The president, who dismissed insinuations that insecurity in the Northwest is a sectional agenda, argued that whatever affects any part of the nation destabilizes the other, stressing that the administration's promise of securing Nigeria remains its priority since assuming office over a year ago. According to him, the strategies employed by the government in fighting insecurity in the region have begun to provide redemption, adding that there will be no slowdown until the aim of totally dismantling insurgents is achieved. Tinubu disclosed that the government is making huge efforts to strengthen collaboration among security agencies to ensure a unified approach in the fight against insurgency. The president added that the government is coordinating joint training exercises, interagency cooperation, communication, and information sharing amongst security agencies. The federal government has urged states and local governments to scale up environmental health surveillance in places where food and drinks are sold nationwide. These places include markets, garages, schools, restaurants, stadia, and religious and sporting event centers and venues. Dr. Isiaq Salako, Minister of State for Environment, gave the directive in Abuja. Salako said that the measures would help avert further spread and transmission of cholera, as well as aid in the prevention and control of the disease. He also urged all commissioners for environment and the local government chairpersons to support environmental health officers across the country to step up sanitation and hygiene activities through enhanced community-led total sanitation. According to him, it is also to strengthen collaboration with the health authorities and other stakeholders in line with the One Health approach of the federal government. The minister said that the arrangements had been made to support most affected states with chlorine solution or tablets, water, and food testing resources to avert further transmission across the country. Salako noted that recent situation reports from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control indicated a total number of 1,159 suspected cases, 65 confirmed cases, and 30 deaths across 30 states. ATN identified cholera as a poor sanitation and hygiene-driven disease and an acute diarrhea infection caused by ingestion of unwholesome food or water contaminated with the bacterium Vibrio cholerae. Comptroller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service, Kemi Nandap, says that the federal government is committed to effective border control and working solutions of the officers and men at the borders. Nandap said this when she visited some borders in Katsina and Jigawa states in continuation of her assessment tour of the Nigerian borders. A statement by the service public relations officer, Kenneth Udo, in Abuja stated that Nandap visited Fago Patrol Base and Daura Forward Operation Base. Others are the Kongolam Border Control Post and Magatari Control Post, where she inspected the ongoing e-border projects and other facilities. She solicited the support of some critical border community stakeholders, including traditional leaders, youth leaders, transport unions, and market women. Nandap called for cooperation in safeguarding the borders, especially the vast unmanned areas. She enlightened them on the dangers of transborder organized crimes such as the smuggling of migrants and trafficking in persons. NANDAP emphasized the need to always provide useful information on the activities of irregular migrants. Analysts have emphasized on the need for a better state of settlement and working conditions between the ASU and the federal government. Speaking on Atlantic Television Blowout program, a socio-political analyst, Ekie C. Ekie, expressed this view on the development as it concerns the state of the nation's educational system.
Wisdom. Where your own right begins, where your own right ends, that's where the next man's right begins. So as two members, I want to call on you all to understand that government also have some level of rights over you. So don't always think that your right is supreme. Don't always think that you must hold government to ransom. Holding government to ransom is holding.
This is coming after the Academic Staff Union of Universities have said that over 400 members have been sacked in the last 10 or 15 years, ASU said, are common in state-owned institutions, as governors who are the visitors to these institutions don't tolerate opposing views and policies. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has sent a complaint to the World Bank Inspection Panel, urging the panel to probe allegations of corruption in the spending of the loans and other funding facilities obtained by the federal government and Nigeria's 36 states governors, and to review the implementation of all bank-funded projects by successive governments since 1999. Serap maintained that despite money loaned to Nigeria by the World Bank over the decades, many citizens are still living in poverty and hardship till date. Serap urged the inspection panel to determine the extent to which the bank management has followed or is following the World Bank's operational policies and procedures applicable to the design, appraisal, and implementation of all bank finance projects in Nigeria. Serap also urged the panel to determine the effect of any failure by the bank management to effectively implement its operational policies and procedures in all bank-funded projects in several states on the social and economic rights and well-being of millions of socially and economically vulnerable Nigerians. Serap said that the federal government and states several reportedly spending public funds, which may include the loans and facilities obtained from the World Bank, necessary travels, buy exotic and bulletproof cars, and generally fund the lavish lifestyle of politicians. As in view with the move to reposition the sector for greater efficiency, the National Board for Technical Education has declared new schemes of service as approved by the federal government for Nigerian polytechnics effective from June 7, 2024. The MBTE is mandated to regulate and oversee educational programs offered by technical institutions at the secondary, polytechnic, and monotechnic levels. MBTE Bugaje at the formal presentation of the new schemes of service recently in Kaduna, and the new schemes of service is a unified approach to the recruitment and promotion of staff across the federal, state, and private polytechnics in Nigeria. He also said that henceforth higher national diploma holders with good grades could now be employed as academic staff to lecture in polytechnics like their degree-holding counterparts. Now to some business reports. High prices of food items in the markets amid it does not speak well of the over 1.25 trillion naira federal budget approved for the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security in 3 years to manage the sector, farmers and other stakeholders have stated. Although they pointed out that the correlation between food prices and federal budgets for they wondered why food prices had continued to be available. Of all farmers, he stated this when he presented the latest gold bar sourced artisanal and small gold miners and to President Bola Tinubu. Alake said that the refined gold was refined to meet the London Bullion Market Association good delivery standard and would be sold to the Central Bank of Nigeria to bolster foreign reserves. In a statement, the minister said that it marks the first commercial transaction under the National Gold Purchase Program, the centralized offtake scheme supported by a decentralized aggregation and production network of artisanal and small-scale miners and cooperatives. Alake said that the first commercial transaction has delivered a $5 million increase in Nigeria's foreign reserves assets, 70+ kilograms of gold refined to the London Bullion Market good delivery standard, and successful aggregation of locally mined gold, thereby injecting about 6 billion naira into the rural economy, receiving the symbolic bar ministry for achieving a major milestone. In the administration was easy to obtain and disclose national defense information after the WikiLeaks site published secret U.S. military records and spent the last 5 years in a British prison, from where he was fighting extradition to be finalized in the courts in